Hi guys, my name is Sophie. You might know me as Sophie, and today we are going to start a new Korean drama together where I'm going to teach you some Korean words, we're going to break down the phrases, and we're going to learn how to read in between the lines with all the differences in Korean culture. Today we are starting with Cashero, episode 1. Shall we get started?
초능력 같은 건 없었던.
Just a quick note as we get started, guys. You may already know this, but the main actor in this drama, his name is Lee Jun-ho or Jun-ho Lee. And he actually used to be a really famous idol about 10, 15, 18 years ago in a group called 2PM.
그러니까.
어때?
아우 좋아.
나도 너무 좋아.
So notice how the guy goes, it's great. Oh, 좋아, he says. And then the female lead goes, 나도 너무 좋아. So they both say 좋아, but the English subtitles say it's great and I love it. So 좋아 is one of our very few generic adjectives that we have in the Korean language. So when you want to express that you really like something, you love something, something is amazing, something is great, you want to go with 좋아. And then you can add an adverb in front of it like 너무 좋아, 진짜 좋아.
그래. 까짓건 나라고 수도권에 이런 집 못 살 건 없지. 영혼까지 끌어모으면 7억이요?
All right, so the subtitles go, if I scrape everything I have together, but in Korean he says, 영혼까지 끌어모으면, which literally translates to, if I scrape up everything, if I collect everything, including my soul. 영혼 means soul. This is a really common expression that we use when we are gathering every little bit of scrap that we have left, whether it's every little bit of money. Sometimes we use it in a joking way to talk about creating cleavage. So if you see someone who is typically a little bit flat-chested and they want to wear like a cleavage type of top, you know how, you girls will know, you know how we bring in everything like the fat from our backs and our armpits to bring in everything together to make that cleavage. We say 영혼, we're scraping up, we are collecting everything, including our soul.
무리다. 이번 생엔 무리다.
계약금은 20% 1억 4천 되시고요. 계약금은 대출이 안 되세요.
차량 커트라인은 어떻게 될까요?
무주택 기간이 어떻게 되시죠?
이건 자신 있다.
So the situation in the scene is they've obviously gone to view a new apartment, like a brand new building. Perhaps it hasn't even been built yet. And they're asking about the housing lottery, which in Korean is called 청약. Essentially what this is obviously the land in Korea is a little bit scarce. And so obviously if they do like a free-for-all, anyone can buy it if they want. The housing pricing will be uncontrollable because everyone will want to buy it and then all the rich people will buy it and then it doesn't give a chance to, people who are just starting out. And so the government has implemented the system where it's almost like a raffle. You put your name in towards this newly built apartment block, and then like a random raffle, if you get your name picked out of that, then you have the opportunity to buy that apartment. And so what a lot of people will do, especially a lot of like first home buyers or newlyweds, they will start saving very early on so that when the raffle draw happens, they have the funds to buy it immediately and they won't miss out.
획득은 추첨이라 확률이 너무 떨어져. 신혼특공으로 가야 승산이 있다니까.
So now they're talking about how they can increase their chances of being lucky in the lottery of housing. And so every person has like particular points that you can earn to be more or less advantageous in this draw. And if you're a newlywed couple, you get more points, which makes it more likely that you might get chosen. And we can imagine that this is probably because of how the birth rates and marriage rates in Korea are so low that the government is really trying to push for people to get married and give them these kind of opportunities and advantages throughout. You know what's so unrealistic though? If this were real life, there would be a million other people walking under those cherry blossom trees right now.
지금 대답하면 플스 때문에 결혼하는 것처럼 들릴 거다.
싫어?
알았어. 진짜지?
당근.
Alright, so she goes, of course. And in Korean she goes, 당근, which literally translates to carrot. The real phrase for of course is 당연하지. 당연하지. But because it sounds so similar to 당근, we often jokingly say it instead. 당근.
왔어요.
So notice how he walks in and he goes, 왔어요. And mum replies with, 왔어. So he's saying, I've come. And she's saying, you've come. But the translation says, I'm here. You're here. A really common way of greeting in Korean is by saying what you did and by saying what the other person did. And so because he has come, he's going 왔어. And the English equivalent would be I'm here.
우리 집은 내가 9살 때 IMF 직격탄을 맞았다. 실직한 아빠는 자리를 잡지 못하고 계속 밖으로 돌았다.
Alright, so we're talking about the IMF here. If you have watched enough Korean dramas, you would have heard this being spoken about in lots of other dramas as well. The IMF stands for International Monetary Funds. In Korea, we use this word to talk about the period in which Korea as a country essentially went bankrupt. This was around the period of late 90s to about the early 2000s. That means people were losing their jobs, businesses, personal businesses were also closing down, corporate businesses were closing down. And so it was just a really, really tough time for everyone.
그러니까 돈을 쓰는 만큼 초능력이 생기는데 그걸 남을 위해 쓰라고요? 그래. 무슨 홍콩해요? 싫어요. 누군가는 해야 하는 일이야.
Pushover? Wait, let's talk about this. He goes, I'm no pushover. I'm not going to use my money to help other people or use my superpower to help other people. In Korean, he actually uses the word 호구, which is, pushover. What does pushover mean to you guys in English? I would say that a pushover is someone who doesn't really speak up, someone who doesn't say their opinions, doesn't say what they want, and they just follow along with what other people do because they're maybe too afraid to speak or to say anything. I don't know if 호구 is quite what that is. I would say that a 호구 is more like a tool. Someone who's a bit slow, someone who doesn't understand the fact that people are using and abusing them. For example, it might be someone who, let's say you go to a new country and you do shopping there and you don't know that you can actually haggle the prices there. So they ask for, $50 for a knockoff hat and you're like, oh, okay. And then you pay the $50. Whereas other people would know that that is a knockoff and you would have to haggle and actually you can buy it for $5. That kind of person would be a 호구. But can you see how that's not really a pushover?
선배님 이거 제가 들어드릴게요.
아유 그래 고마워. 진짜 너무 싫어.
이 무거운 거예요.
He goes 쌍놈 새끼, which is actually quite a strong swear word. It's like fucking asshole, fucking bastard.
로또 맞았어? 아니 백 생겼나?
You've got pool now. means you have influence, power, or connections to get things done or persuade people. Oh, okay. I personally have never heard of this expression before, but apparently it's a thing. Let me know in the comments if you've also heard that before. In Korean, what he says is, do you have back now? 백. 백 있어? And it comes from the English word back. When we say that someone has 백, it basically means that you have connections with like higher authority. So for example, what this boss is asking here is like, do you know someone who is, let's say, at the executive level, so that you don't get fired if you do anything wrong, this sort of stuff.
코인도 안 돼. 절대 안 돼.
다들 돈 많이 번다던데.
읽는 놈들은 조용히 읽고 따는 놈들은 시끄러워서 그런 거야.
You guys know what that means? When Koreans go, I didn't actually realize that this was a Korean sound to make until one of my students asked me this. These things are called filler sounds. A filler sound is a sound that we make that doesn't have a definition, like it's not a word, but it does have meaning to it. So when you hear a Korean go like that, it's trying to be threatening, like stop,
너 아빠랑 똑같다. 아빠도 이렇게 물집 잡혔다가 괜찮아지고는 다시 올라오고 그랬는데 아, 왜 그런 걸 담니?
이게 뭐야? 무슨 돈이야?
개돈이야. 아니 계좌이체하면 증여세인가 뭔가 나온다 그래가지고.
All right, so she says that this is 갯돈, where you and a group of your friends collect money it could be every month, typically every 2 months, and you set a particular amount that you are going to save together. So for example, let's say that's me and my 5 friends, and we say that we're going to save $100 every month. And then once every cycle, whether it's a year, 2 years, could be 6 months, all of that money goes to one person, right? So let's say that we start in January. In December, however much money has been saved into that pool goes to me, and I get to keep that money. And then we do it again for a whole year, and then it goes to the next person. And so basically it's this way of getting a bulk amount of money that you have saved, but also your friends are helping out as well, and you go around in turns. Alright guys, that was episode 1 of Cashero. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments, and I will see you for episode 2 next time. Thanks guys, 안녕!